When I was 17 years old, I needed to apply for a job. When you're, for most of you even watching, in high school, you know that sometimes money is not easy to come by, and there's things you want to do, and I needed work. And so I went to go apply at McDonald's. There's a friend of mine who had a job there, and I thought, well, got to start somewhere. So I was more than willing to go and flip Big Macs to make a few dollars. And for not much money, minimum wage back then was $5.90. So it was pretty minimal, but I still needed work. When I got to McDonald's, I walked in and went to the cashier. I had a copy of my resume in my hand, and I asked the cashier if I could talk to the manager. Problem is that I didn't say it as smooth as I just said it there, but I stuttered my whole way through. When I got to the desk, I just remember just saying, and I couldn't get the words out. I tried so hard and it just wouldn't happen. And after, I kid you not, about 12 or 13 seconds of me stuttering over and over again, the cashier started laughing, and then the two employees behind her started laughing. And by the time I could finally get out that I wanted to talk to the manager, I wanted to run. I just wanted to get out of there so quick. And when the manager showed up, I was thankful that, at least for him, he wasn't laughing because he wasn't there for it. But the whole time I was, even there with him having a conversation, those same three employees were standing behind him just laughing, just hysterically laughing. And I never felt so small in my whole life, so worthless. You just feel like no one cares in that moment. That's not who I am. There's a lot more to me than that. But some people attribute my value to how well I can speak. And that's painful because I know I'm not the only one in this world that feels that way. We treat people pretty rough for the most part. We don't like to give people much for second chances. We don't really give them value for the things that they ought to feel that for, but rather when someone makes a mistake, when someone does something that we think is wrong, we just totally write them off. It's like all the things they ever did previous to that doesn't matter. And I know this is kind of like a tougher topic because we're in a culture where when someone does the wrong thing, we cancel them. We're just totally over it. We don't have any more time for them. I can't even count how many people in the last, let's even say 5 years where they've said something out loud and we want nothing to do with them, right? They say something that's a little, kind of off or iffy, or maybe they say something really terrible. But even if they come back afterwards and say, that was a mistake, we don't even want to hear that. We just want to be done with them and move on. And I just don't know if that's ever going to shift. It just feels heavy and overwhelming. We do that even sometimes with our friends. Right, think about what we see from them online. If they post something that we just really don't agree with, we'll block them. I know I've done that before. I've decided that, because of what they said now means that I don't want anything to do with them anymore. What does that mean for me? What does it mean for you? I just think that we are in a weird place in life where the value of people is summed up by what they say next, and not in who they actually are. One of my favorite stories that I read in the Bible a story about a tax collector, Zacchaeus, who nobody liked this guy. Like, he was a crook. He stole from people, and he took way more than he had to when it was time to go around and get everyone's taxes. Like, just a bad dude. And he heard about what was going on with Jesus, and he heard that it looked like he was going to get a chance to maybe meet Jesus because he was coming through his town. But for Zacchaeus, he's just like this short dude. Like, he's tiny, and he's not going to be able to see Jesus through the crowd. So he decides, I got to climb up on this big tree when he comes through. That's my only way he's ever going to notice me, is if I'm high up. That's the only way I could really see him. And so he climbs up to the top of this tree, just this short little tax collector that no one likes. And Jesus sees him from the crowd, and he looks at Zacchaeus and he says, I'm coming to your house today for dinner. He sees him, like, he looks at him and he notices him. No one else wants to notice Zacchaeus. No one else wants to look at this guy, but Jesus notices him. And so they go to his house for dinner, and the whole town is outside this guy's house, and they're all kind of looking at Jesus like, why would you be at this guy's house? You could be at anybody's house here, but you go to this guy who nobody likes, who is just a bad person. Why would you want to spend time with him? But this is the way of Jesus, though. It is his way to be with people and to love people that we don't think really deserve it. Jesus does this all the time. He does this with me and you. He does this with me. There was a time in my life where I wanted nothing to do with Jesus, where my lifestyle, the things I said, the things I did, didn't add up. It just didn't look like that I wanted anything to do with him. But he loved me in spite of that. And he chased after my heart. And as I look back on that time in life, the thing that strikes me most about how I see Jesus now is that he didn't love me because of me. He loved me because of him. He loved me because that's who he is in his character. He totally looks past just, all the garbage. He's not interested as much, and he's not as worried as much about what others think about that kind of love either. He loves me for me, and he loves everybody for who they are. But we live in a world, again, where we love people based on what they say next, and we only give them value based on what they say if it lines up with us. And if it doesn't line up, we just totally block them. We want nothing to do with them anymore. But I wonder what this world would look like if we loved people that same way as he does. If we followed the way of Jesus and we loved people not based on what they say next, but we love them because of the fact that God loves them, because he sees in them something important. He sees worth and value. And I wonder how much our world would shift if we loved people that way.